If you are looking for the best games to play on your Steam Deck that aren't just Hades or Vampire Survivors like every other list, then you're in the right place. Here are my top picks that not only play amazingly well on the Steam Deck, they're also highly fun, super addicting, and maybe a little obscure. Hyper Jam is a fast-paced arena brawler set in a neon-soaked futuristic cityscape. The game pits players against each other in intense battles where the last player standing is declared the winner. What sets the game apart from other brawlers is its unique progression system. As you play, you earn points that can be used to unlock new abilities and upgrades. These upgrades can range from increased health and damage to new abilities like a teleport or a shield. The catch is that the more upgrades you have, the more vulnerable you become. This creates an interesting risk-reward dynamic that encourages players to think strategically about their upgrade choices. The combat in Hyper Jam is fast, frantic, and addicting. Players have a variety of weapons at their disposal, including shotguns, rockets, and even a katana. Each weapon has its own strengths and weaknesses, and learning how to use them effectively is key to success. The game also features a dodge roll mechanic, which allows players to quickly evade attacks and reposition themselves for a counterattack. One of the standout features of Hyper Jam is its soundtrack. The game's thumping electronic beats and pulsing bass lines create a perfect backdrop for the intense action. However, it's worth noting that the game's visuals are just as impressive. The neon-soaked cityscape is a feast for the eyes, with bright colors and intricate details that give the game a very unique and memorable look. The game's multiplayer mode is where the game really shines. Up to 4 players can battle it out in local or online matches, with a variety of different modes to choose from. There's the standard deathmatch mode, as well as a mode where players must capture and hold a central point on the map, much like King of the Hill. One of the best things about Hyper Jam is how accessible it is. The game's controls are simple and intuitive, making it easy for anyone to pick up and play. However, there's still plenty of depth and strategy for more experienced players to sink their teeth into. The game also features a single-player arcade mode, where players can battle through waves of AI opponents to earn high scores and unlock new upgrades. If there's one downside to Hyper Jam, it's the limited number of maps. While the maps that are available are well designed and fun to play on, there are only a handful of them. This can lead to some repetition if you play the game for an extended period of time, and the developers have moved on to their new projects, leaving the game as pretty much completed. On the Steam Deck, Hyper Jam has little to no frame drops and plays wonderfully, with the controls feeling fluid and intuitive on the deck. If you're looking for a unique and exciting brawler, Hyper Jam is one of the most addicting games I've played in a long time. A Story About My Uncle is a first-person platformer developed by Gone North Games. The game follows the story of a young boy who sets out on a journey to find his missing uncle and discovers a world of wonder and danger along the way. Much like Mirror's Edge, The Story About My Uncle has some unique gameplay mechanics within its platforming. Players control the boy as he uses a high-tech grappling hook to swing and leap through a series of intricate and challenging levels. The grappling hook is easy to use and feels incredibly satisfying when you get the hang of it, allowing for a fluid and acrobatic style of movement. The game's levels are beautifully designed and fill with a sense of awe and discovery. As you progress through the game, you'll explore a variety of different environments, from sprawling caves and ancient ruins to a city in the clouds. Each environment is filled with secrets to discover and challenges to overcome, and the game's excellent level design keeps the experience feeling fresh and engaging. The story of this game is probably one of its high points. The game's narrative is told through a series of voiceovers from the boy's perspective as he writes letters to his missing uncle. The story is surprisingly emotional and poignant, and it's clear that a lot of care went into crafting it. The game also features some great character development, with the boy growing and changing throughout his journey. Another strength of the game is its sense of scale. The environments are massive and awe-inspiring, and the game does an excellent job of conveying a sense of vertigo as you swing and leap through them. The game's graphics are also quite impressive, with detailed textures and lighting that really bring the environments to life. I'd say one drawback to A Story About My Uncle is that the game can be frustratingly difficult at times. Some of the later levels require very pinpoint precision and perfect timing to complete, which can be a bit frustrating if you're not used to this kind of platformer. However, the game's forgiving checkpoint system and responsive controls make it easy to keep trying until you get it right. The game plays very well on the Steam Deck and looks surprisingly good despite being showcased on a 7-inch screen. The controls were designed with a controller in mind, so playing this on the deck when you're on the go is a fantastic single-player experience. Devil May Cry 5 is the latest entry in the long-running action series developed by Capcom. In this latest installment, players once again take control of Demon Hunter Dante as well as newcomers Nero and V. The game's story picks up several years after the events of the previous game, with the Demon King Mundus defeated and the world seemingly at peace. What sets Devil May Cry 5 apart from other action games is its focus on style and flair. The game is all about looking cool and pulling off over-the-top combos and attacks. and the combat system is incredibly deep and rewarding for players who take the time to master it. Each character has their own unique set of moves and abilities, and there are a ton of different weapons and upgrades to experiment with. The game's graphics are its standout feature. The environments are beautifully detailed and the character designs are pretty top-notch, with each character having their own distinct personality and style. The game's cinematics are also incredibly well done, with impressive visual effects and camera work that really add to the overall experience, a true next-gen experience. One of the most impressive aspects of Devil May Cry 5 is its level of polish. The game is incredibly smooth and responsive, with no noticeable slowdown or lag even during the most chaotic and action-packed moments on the Steamdeck. The game's difficulty is also well balanced, with a variety of difficulty modes to choose from to suit players of all skill levels. Another unique aspect of the game is its story. While the game's plot may not be the most original, it is well told and engaging, with a cast of characters that are both likable and memorable. The game's cutscenes and voice acting are pretty impressive, adding to the overall cinematic feel of the game. One potential downside to the game is its length. The game can be completed in around 10 to 12 hours, which may feel a bit short for some players. However, the game's replay value is incredibly high, with multiple difficulty modes and a variety of unlockable content to keep players coming back for more. If you're into games like Nier Automata or Bayonetta and love the fast-paced and stylish action, you will absolutely love Devil May Cry 5. And don't worry, if you haven't played any of the other games in the series, you'll be able to pick this one up and have a blast. KungFu Kickball is a unique sports game that blends together the worlds of Kung Fu and soccer. I know that sounds kind of silly, and when I first played it at PAX over 5 years ago, I'd agree. Players take control of a team of martial artists as they compete in a fast-paced, action-packed game of kickball, even though it's kind of more like soccer. What sets KungFu Kickball apart from other sports games is its unique combination of kung fu combat and traditional soccer gameplay. Players can use a variety of martial arts moves to knock their opponents off balance, steal the ball, and score goals. Each character has their own unique set of moves and abilities, making for a diverse and exciting gameplay experience. The characters are well designed with a cartoonish and playful aesthetic that fits perfectly with the game's lighthearted tone. The environments are also well crafted, with each level featuring its own distinct look and feel. The gameplay of KungFu Kickball is simple to pick up but difficult to master. You'll find yourself competing with your friends in co-op mode and find yourself begging to keep playing. The game supports local and online play, allowing players to compete against each other in fast-paced, action-packed matches. The multiplayer mode is well designed, with a variety of different game modes and options to choose from to suit players of all skill levels. One small downside to the game is its lack of ultra depth. While the game is fun and engaging in short bursts, it may start to feel repetitive after many hours of playing, especially if you're playing by yourself. Additionally, there are only a limited number of characters and levels available, which may limit the game's replay value for some players. The game is incredibly unique and addicting when you get it going with some friends, and it plays perfectly on the Steamdeck. Play on the deck screen for some quick fun at the airport, or take it to your friend's house, plug it into the TV, and bust out the controllers for a hilarious and competitive game with your buddies. Roof Rage is a fast-paced indie fighting game that takes place on rooftops. Shocker, I know. Players take control of one of several unique characters, each with their own set of moves and abilities, and engage in intense battles against each other. What sets the game apart from other fighting games like Street Fighter or Tekken is its focus on movement and platforming. The game takes place on a series of rooftops, and players can jump, run, and climb around the environment to gain the upper hand in battles. The game's controls are incredibly responsive and intuitive, allowing players to easily perform complex moves and combos with ease. One of the most impressive aspects of the game is its character design. Each character is well designed with a unique look and feel that sets them apart from the rest. From the nimble ninja to the lumbering giant, each character feels distinct and fun to play. The environments of the game are well designed, with a detailed and colorful look that fits perfectly with the game's lighthearted tone. The characters are also well animated, with fluid and smooth movements that make battles feel dynamic and engaging. Like many others on this list, this game supports local and online play, allowing players to compete against each other in fast-paced, action-packed matches. This is another one of those games that are incredibly indie feeling, that looks very surface level at first glance, but once you and your friends start getting into it, you'll find yourself laughing your butts off as you kick each other off the roofs using all the unique characters and fighting styles. If you like games like Super Smash Bros., or even fun and simple indie titles, then you should definitely give Roof Rage a shot.
Have you played any of these games on the Steam Deck? Did I miss any games that you think should be on this list? Let me know in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it, and get subscribed for more Steam Deck content. My name's Jason. Thanks for watching.